What's up, guys? I'm Chef Elon.
And I'm Chef Tolan. Well, we both are the executive chefs of Greenwich and Delancey Delicatessen and Locks Cafe in the Museum of Jewish Heritage in Battery Park.
Welcome to Keeping It Kosher TV. Today we're going to be making some good old-fashioned Jewish penicillin, otherwise known as chicken soup.
And that's good because I'm allergic to penicillin.
This is one of the most classic dishes in Jewish cuisine. Everyone knows about it. It's a classic grandmother favorite. So we're going to start with the chicken. Chicken was always very popular among Jewish populations because it was the only protein that was affordable. Also, during the Day of Atonement on Yom Kippur, one of the main holidays, one of the traditions is to hold the chicken over our heads and spin it around, which is...
very unsanitary.
Very, yes. But it was traditional to make a chicken soup for breaking the fast of the Day of Atonement. Chicken soup has been prized as medicine, basically, for many years. Maimonides, a popular Jewish physician, I believe in the 16th century, said that it can cure leprosy, it can cure skin diseases, it can cure almost anything.
Well, that's great because I got a lot of allergies.
Yes. It arrived in America in the 16th century.
Originally, I think from Greece or China, I thought maybe both.
Yeah, so I think the origin, no, not I think, I know that originally chicken soup was made in Greece and China. In Greece, it took on a different form in the form of avgo lemino, which is cooked with lemon and rice. And in China, they seasoned it with scallion and ginger. But we're just gonna keep it simple.
I got it. We're just gonna keep it simple and, not think about it too hard. It doesn't take very much to make a good quality chicken soup, just like Grandma used to make.
That's right.
What's the first thing we do, Chef?
First thing we do is we need to go over the secrets. There are a few secrets to a really good quality chicken soup. First thing, baby chicken. I don't know why, but pretty much in anything in cuisine, when it's a baby, it tastes better. I don't know why.
That's sick.
It is, but it's delicious. Then the second secret is leeks. Leeks are the king of the onions, in my opinion. They just pack a completely different flavor than onions, which onions are more versatile, but for soup specifically, leeks are what you want to use. And cloves. Cloves is what gives it its depth, and it gives it that roundness that you want, and that kind of savory quality. And that's it. And then we're gonna put some stems, from the dill, from parsley, from cilantro, stems that you would normally throw away. We're just gonna throw them in there because it's a soup. At the end of the day, you can throw in any vegetables you want. You can take something from the freezer, you could throw it in. You could anything. You can have fun with it.
That's the main that's the main crux of this kind of cuisine. Originally, it was called peasant food, but I think we can step it up a level. Back in the day when our family immigrated here to America, there was very limited ingredients they could buy at the grocery store. So you just take what you got, and you throw it into a bowl, and you make a soup. All right, what do you think? We should get to chopping?
Let's do it. So let's start with the leek. Probably the most annoying one out of all of these.
Why is that?
So leeks are very tricky mistresses because some of them have sand inside of them.
Sand?
Yeah, sand. They have in between the layers, as you'll see, as I'll cut it open. First we're going to take the top part off, which we don't really use. And we're going to put this in our garbage.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Then we're going to cut off the other end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half to make it easier to work with. Tolan, take one.
Yes, chef.
And then we're going to cut it just in half. Then we're going to look at the layers and see if there's any sand in them. No, these look pretty clean actually, but
Pretty clean, no sand.
But we should wash them anyway, right?
We should. Always wash your vegetables.
Now, I also like to take off the first layer. And since this one looks pretty clean, I guess we can just keep all of it. So it looks pretty good.
Yep, pretty good.
Now we're gonna cut that in half. We're gonna lay it flat, and then you don't have to do this, but I like to cut diagonally. It just looks prettier. My brother would probably disagree with me, but...
Well, we went to a culinary school, and if it doesn't look pretty, is it really even culinary?
True, good
So
point.
I would agree with you.
Best piece of advice I can give anyone is to always have a garbage in front of you, directly in front of you. Makes your life so much easier. Okay, now let's do some carrots, Tom. What do you think? You think for a soup like this with this amount of chicken, we should do, let's do about 3 pieces.
3 pieces?
Yeah, let's do 3.
These are some tiny carrots.
Yeah. All right, so Tom's you're gonna do the carrots, right?
I'll do the carrots.
Right,
Don't worry about a thing.
I'll do some onions. All right, so now that we have the mirepoix, let's season the chicken.
Absolutely. Let's get those birds on the board.
Let's do it on yours. I don't want to make mine a mess.
Oh no, that's fine. Let's just sully mine.
Okay. So just very simple. Salt and pepper. Yeah, open it. Yeah, hold it open.
Open her up.
Oh yeah.
You want to make sure you get a nice amount in there.
Yeah.
Good rule of thumb that my the chef that taught me how to cook at Le Cordon Bleu is always put a little more salt than you think you need.
Yeah, it falls off a lot.
It does fall off. There you go. Get that all up in there. Have you done this before?
My first time.
There you go. You ever watch that SNL skit where they with the pepper at the restaurant?
No.
With Adam Sandler. Hey, you wanted the pepper?
Yeah. I remember that. That is funny. I love Adam Sandler.
I love Adam Sandler. Doesn't get the respect he deserves.
No, he doesn't.
I'm sure he knows how to make a good chicken soup.
I'm
too.
sure he does, actually. Or he knows how to buy one, at least.
Oh, definitely.
And now that we've seasoned the chicken, we're gonna go ahead and throw it into our boiling water.
Water's boiling. I guess that means it's time to put all this stuff in there.
Yeah, let's put the veggies in. We got the greens.
Don't forget your cloves.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Now you'll see that when we're doing the next dish, I'm gonna be periodically walking back over there with a spoon. And the reason is because although soup is a simple dish, it takes forever to make. And that's one thing you learn in cooking is that everything takes forever for 5 minutes of pleasure. So what I'll be doing is when you make a soup, like all this like suds and bacteria rises to the top.
Scum.
The scum.
You're a scumbag.
Yeah, okay, thank you, brother. And so you want to skim that off from the top and basically just throw it out. And that's going to help make a nice, clear broth. I got more chopping to do?
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to put some of the stems in the...
And why do you want to do that, brother?
Because stems are things we would usually just throw away. And I think it actually adds a lot of flavor, especially the cilantro stems. This is parsley, but I just put in the cilantro. Just a few. Yeah, it would go to the garbage anyway, so why not?
Delicious. How long is the soup gonna take? Because I'm starting to get a little hungry.
I mean, you could get away with like 2.5 hours. Ideally, it would be like 3-4 hours, but
So perfect amount of time to watch some Netflix, do your taxes. Now that the soup is cooking, we're gonna make some blintzes, which is just an Eastern European way of saying crepes. Now before we get into all that, keep in mind that this is kosher, so that means there are some rules. There's always rules when it comes to kosher cooking. Number 1, because we're making chicken soup, we can't use dairy, so no cows. We're gonna use milk made from the freshest almonds. And we have our eggs. And the thing about eggs is that it can't have any blood in it. So we have a kosher operation that we run, and we have a guy that works there called a mashgiach. A mashgiach is basically a guy who just makes sure everything's kosher. And he works for some religious, overseers, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. So basically what happens is you have to individually put eggs in containers, clear containers, and check for blood. Because if I take one egg and put another egg in it, and there's a little blood, then he's gonna throw it all in the trash, and that just makes me crazy. So we individually at first put all our eggs separately, and then we put them into a bowl together, no blood, which means 100% kosher. Isn't that right, brother?
yes, that's right. So now we're gonna get into the actual making of the crepe, traditionally, a crepe is French, and it is a little bit thicker than what we're gonna make, which would be called a blini in Eastern Europe.
Or blintz.
Yes, but the blini itself is actually very, very thin, much thinner than a regular crepe, and we're gonna start making that right now. So first we're gonna take this bowl right here. Actually, let's put some parchment under so we don't make a mess. All right, I always like a little parchment paper under. Okay, so now we're gonna start with our wet ingredients. So we're gonna start with the eggs.
I'm gonna go check out the soup.
Yeah, go ahead. So we have 6 eggs and 2 egg yolks. This is actually a recipe that I created by myself using my grandfather's recipe as inspiration. So I'm gonna just put the eggs in, just like that. Make sure we don't waste anything. Then we're gonna put 4 cups and 2 tablespoons of almond milk. You can do this with water, you can do this with regular milk, whatever you want. The prohibition is meat and dairy. So technically we can't mix chicken and dairy. Okay. And we're gonna take 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. Not extra virgin, just regular, because we don't want it to taste like bitter.
Well, yeah, if you put extra virgin olive oil, it's just gonna taste like extra virgin olive oil. And you don't want your crepes to taste like a salad.
No. And
That'd be disgusting.
we're not using butter, because you don't need butter. In fact, olive oil gives it a much more fluffy feel to it.
That's not what the French would say.
That's true.
But these aren't French crepes, these are blintzes.
That's right. Now, a little bit of vanilla extract, which is ridiculously expensive.
Yes. Why I don't understand. But we're not throwing it away. We're keeping every little drop.
That's just kind of perfume the batter. Now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. We have the sugar, we have the salt, and we have the flour.
How many cups of flour?
I think it's supposed to be 3.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Should we cut the commercial? Just kidding. There are no commercials here.
That's right. No, it's 3. It's 3 for sure.
It's 3. Okay.
Now I like to sift my flour because I don't like any lumps. Ever.
Sifting your flour is definitely best, but just keep in mind that, again, this does take forever to do.
Yes, can you hold this for me?
You got it, chef.
Thank you, darling.
Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah,
a little
you
harder.
go.
There you go. Don't you get a little PTSD every time you cook from culinary school?
Absolutely.
I went to Le Cordon Bleu in Madrid, which is kind of funny because it's a French school, but the chefs are French, but they're speaking Spanish. Every time I do this, I think of my chef.
You call this a batter?
One time I made a batter and it was too thick apparently, so he's like, "You call this a batter?"
It looked exactly like
It
his,
was
right?
a batter. I watched because
Coming in.
the way it works is that they show you how to do everything first. So I did exactly the way he did it, but apparently it wasn't good enough. We have a kosher establishment, and that's mostly because it's really hard for people who keep kosher to find good food. And there's no reason why it has to be so disgusting. I mean, when people think about kosher food, they usually think of something like a gefilte fish, which is basically just like, it looks like gray matter,
Yeah.
I would say. But it is tasty, so there's no reason why, it can't be aesthetically pleasing too.
It is really stigmatized.
Yeah. The only difficult part is the kashrut or the kosher rules. Why do we do that again?
Basically, it's because we have to make sure that it was like the animal was slaughtered properly.
Oh.
Meaning, so they cut the jugular vein so that the animal doesn't experience any pain. So it has to be a painless experience, and it has to be watched over by like a rabbi, rabbinical authority, to make sure that all the steps were followed. And then we have to drain all of the blood because we're not allowed to eat blood, unfortunately. Yeah, that's why we do it. We do it so,
More? No.
yeah, just a little bit more. You just get, after that, just
Right.
get it in there.
A lot of people don't know this, but apparently the Old Testament was very concerned with, animal rights.
Yes.
Okay, is that finally done?
Yeah, just put a little bit of salt on me.
It's like my least favorite part.
Just a little
A pinch?
Yeah, just
Or
like
two pinches?
just one pinch.
One pinch.
The salt is just gonna make it taste more like
So
itself,
poquito más,
which is
poquito
what
más.
salt does, essentially. Okay, and now we're gonna add the sugar.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna check on the soups.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go with three tablespoons here. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna level it. And I'm using caster sugar. You can use any sugar. Caster sugar is just a lot smoother of a granule, so it's just easier to dissolve. And blend this all up. Hand mixer. We can use a whisk. It'll take forever, but we can do it. Okay. You want to do it, or you?
Go ahead, chef, please.
Okay. Okay, so now for one last annoying step, you got?
Yep.
Okay. I know how much you're gonna love this, Colin.
More flour.
No more flour. We're just gonna strain it a second time.
Oh, plot twist.
To really make sure that it's fully incorporated and that we don't get any lumps at all. So the best thing about this is that it's gonna kind of homogenize everything, and it's gonna make sure that we get a really, really smooth texture. It's gonna be beautiful.
It's a good word, homogenize.
It is a good word.
Good for you.
I like good words.
Can you spell it?
Yeah. HOMOGENIZE.
I wonder if we can get a fact checker on this.
Can we get a fact check on this? Dad always told me that it's better to be the guy who can cook than the guy who can play the piano, because like in the middle of a storm, who are you gonna go to? You go to the guy who can bust out like fried eggs on garlic bread in the middle of the night.
That's true, I have seen him do that before.
He has done that. It's very cool.
We grew up with a single father, so we've seen him, you know, in his courtship of many different
Yes.
women.
We have. Taught us a lot.
Sure
Taught
did.
us how to respect women, actually.
It's true.
Have you ever thought about that? That like we respect them because of that.
Right, well,
Because he was very sweet to them.
we're the ones who cook now.
Yes, that's right. So we're doing this in a measuring cup because it's a lot easier to pour when you pour it into the pan. And I've always liked doing it in a measuring cup. I think that's enough for now.
Uh-huh.
I also like to keep a fork. I like to use a fork and just every so often kind of just mix it like this. Just
Which
to,
reminds me, let me go check on that soup.
yes, go check on the soup. Now let's check the thickness. We want it thick, but not too thick, because remember, the thinner it is, the thinner the crepe. Beautiful. Yes, very important.
Cooking always comes with a little bit of danger, but that's what makes it fun.
Indeed it does.
And without danger, there's no fun. And with no fun, it's just work at that point. So
That's true.
try to have a good time. Wash your hands.
That's a good one. This is a PSA.
Yeah. And this has been PBS.
Okay, let's get a piece of parchment paper right here. Let's turn this on. I'm just trying to like reincorporate the fat, because like the olive oil, it's gonna separate occasionally. All right, so directly into the middle, and then as soon as you pour it in, you want to just turn.
Well, it's all in the wrists, huh?
Yeah, and then here's where you gotta act fast. You have to, as soon as it hits the pan and you swirl it, then you want to just go around the edges.
Beautiful.
Well, we'll see. You pick it up with your
Boom.
hands, and then you want to cook that for like another 10 seconds maybe?
10 seconds.
Something like
Mississippi's
that.
or no?
No, Mississippi's. And like the first few crepes will look ugly, and then they'll get progressively prettier. And then just flip,
Boom.
turn, tap, tap.
Tap, tap, tap.
That's right. Every
most
so
important
often, just mix a little bit. Okay, now directly into the middle again. Shake it sometimes if it doesn't fully incorporate.
Make sure everybody sees how you use those wrists. Well, this is probably the quickest part of the whole thing. Is just
Yeah, imagine making 1,000 though.
I can imagine. I've been there, done that.
I'm sure you have. Ah, it smells so good.
It does smell good. Beautiful. Okay. And if only you could use real milk.
I know.
Imagine what you could do.
It looks so much better.
But that's all right, because we keep it kosher around here.
That's right.
Now that we have our blintzes ready, we can start filling it up. So right here we have our filling, which is made up of predominantly chicken from the chicken soup that we made. And that's the beauty of all the things that we made, is that it can be repurposed. And that's pretty much the essence of peasant cuisine, or Jewish cuisine.
That's right.
So
never throw anything out. You
exactly.
can always recycle.
Exactly. Never throw anything out. You can always repurpose.
And there's good meat in there.
There's a lot of good meat in there.
Okay, so now we're gonna roll them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the pretty side, we're gonna put that on the bottom, because when we roll it, we want the pretty side to be on the top. So we're gonna take that.
How do you know which one's the pretty side?
You know.
You know. Okay.
You know.
I guess you just know.
You always know. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take some of our filling and we're gonna put it at the lip of our blintz.
Or the bottom.
Our blini, our crepe. Yeah. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go over it. And we're gonna make it, we're gonna tuck it, go a little bit tight. And then you're just gonna roll them until they close, like that.
Beautiful.
You wanna try one?
Oh yes, I do, actually. Thank you.
Go ahead, you're welcome.
Now, this filling that we're using here, we kept it simple. It's just the chicken with some dill, a little more salt and pepper just in case. And
you could put anything in it. I mean,
you can put anything.
Caramelized onions, eggs. Everything is great.
That's the thing about a crepe. You can put anything you want in it. You can even put some eggs in it, which you said, but like I'm talking like scrambled. If it wasn't kosher, you could put some cheese in it, but like I said, there's rules here.
We don't live in a perfect world.
What is this, your micromanager?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love you.
I love it too. Like that, and roll.
Uh-huh. Roll once.
And then fold the sides.
Fold the sides. Yeah.
And then
yeah,
just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yes.
Nothing to it.
Beautiful.
Just thousands of dollars of culinary school.
That's right. Okay. What do you think? One more?
One more?
I'm so proud of you.
I mean, thank you. I mean, a little condescending, but it's okay.
I'm sorry.
And there you have it. 3 beautiful chicken blintzes. Finally, that's all over, and we have in front of us our chicken blintzes using our chicken that was made in our soup. We have our crepe, so if you want to make more, you can. And right here in the middle, the star of the show, Jewish penicillin, aka chicken soup. Beautiful. And all you want to do is just to make sure that it is the quintessential chicken soup that's Eastern European, is a little bit of dill, because dill is the hallmark of any Eastern European dish.
Dill and parsley.
Dill and parsley. So all you want to do is just chop that up real quick. Doesn't have to be pretty. Bing, bang, boom. And then you just want to throw that right in there. A little bit on top on the blintzes too, because everything's got to have dill on it. I see you're going very molecular, very nice.
Thank you so much for joining us on Keeping It Kosher. I'm Elon.
And I'm Tolan. And this has been Keeping It Kosher.